All right, so we're diving into a case today, and this one's a real humdinger. Buckle up, listeners, because this one's got it all. Frozen assets, government agencies trying to throw their weight around.
It's a classic debt drama, really, but with some seriously high stakes. And it all plays out in a courtroom, well, the National Company Law Tribunal in New Delhi, to be precise.
Exactly, the NCLT. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's set the stage. We've got a corporate debtor, Kumud Mishra. Sounds like they might be in a bit of a financial pickle.
And of course, where there's debt, there are creditors. In this case, it looks like we've got Reverse Logistics Company, potentially one of the many owed some rupees.
Right, and then there's the big guy, the Commercial Taxes Department of Telangana, coming in hot, claiming Kumud Mishra's skipped out on their tax obligations.
And caught in the crossfire, Axis Bank, holding the corporate debtors account, probably just trying to do their banking thing, but now they're smack dab in the middle of this whole legal showdown.
So the tax man cometh, right. But here's where things get interesting. The Commercial Taxing Department, they didn't mess around. They went straight to Axis Bank and said, freeze them, freeze that account. We're talking account number 922-020-1792-4934 for all you folks keeping score at home. This is serious stuff.
And hey, on the surface, it might seem logical, right? Someone owes money, you go after their assets. But, and this is a big but, the NCLT essentially said, nope, not so fast. You can't just circumvent the entire insolvency process.
So let's talk about that process. This is where that alphabet soup we hear so much about comes in, the IBC.
Exactly, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. 2016, if you want to get specific. Think of it as the rule book, the rule of law for handling situations just like this one. It's designed to bring order to what can often be a very messy, very contentious process.
And to make sure everyone gets a fair shake, right?
Yeah.
Creditors included.
Absolutely. It levels the playing field, so to speak. Whether you're a small business owner owed a few thousand rupees or a government agency owed a whole lot more, everyone has to play by the same rules.
So what should the Commercial Taxes Department have done differently?
Well, they've got a roadmap laid out nice and clear in Regulations 7 to 12 of the IBBI regulations, which, of course, falls under that IBC umbrella we were talking about. These regulations, they're like the step-by-step guide for creditors looking to recover their dues. First, you got to officially lodge a claim. Then you become a part of the process, the resolution process.
So no cutting in line, even if you've got the government on your side.
No special treatment, no sir. This case is a powerful reminder that the IBC is there to make sure things are handled fairly and transparently, and that goes for everyone.
It really makes you wonder if this is how it all went down in court. What led to this in the first place? What kind of financial hot water was Kumud Mishra swimming in?
Unfortunately, we don't have that crystal ball handy today, but it does make you think.
Right. And what about those other creditors, the reverse logistics folks? Do they just sit tight and hope for the best?
Not exactly. This is where the insolvency professional comes in. They're appointed by the NCLT to, shall we say, referee the entire resolution process.
So like a financial referee, making sure everyone plays by the rules.
Exactly. They'll assess the situation, figure out who's owed what, and work towards a resolution.
Which could mean a bunch of different things, right? I mean, it's not always just pay up or else.
Right. Sometimes it's a structured repayment plan.
Right.
Other times it might involve some kind of settlement or, in more dire circumstances, even the liquidation of assets. It all depends on the specifics of the case.
So even though the Commercial Taxes Department had to take a step back, they're not completely out of the game.
Not at all. This ruling doesn't mean they can't recover what they're owed. It just means they have to go about it the right way, through the established process.
Which is a good thing, right? Because that's what the IBC is all about, creating a system that works, that ensures fairness and transparency in the often murky world of debt and insolvency.
Absolutely. The NCLT's decision is a strong signal that this isn't the Wild West anymore. There are rules in place for a reason, and those rules are designed to protect everyone involved.
It's a good reminder that understanding those rules, even if they seem complicated, is crucial for anyone involved in business, especially here in India.
It's not just about knowing the rules, though. It's about understanding the spirit behind them, the why. Because when we have a system where everyone has to play fair, where there's a clear process for resolving disputes, that ultimately benefits everyone in the long run.
It builds trust, it levels that playing field, and it makes doing business, well, a little less of a nail-biter. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up. But listeners, here's something to chew on. How do you think cases like this, with so many moving parts and powerful players, might shape the future of insolvency law in India? Food for thought. Until next time.